Hey, check it out, my friends. It's another day. We're trialing a kind of a new setup here at Stop Doing Nothing. So if you're seeing some cool stuff like there should be a logo, up here, and another logo for another product we're trialing down here called Ecamm. I wanted your feedback. I have been told that things now in the background are the right direction versus before when I was using my phone, they are in the wrong direction. So that's a step in the right direction. As we talk today here for a little bit on Friday, November 15th, happy payday for some of those of you that get paid bi-weekly. Nothing really bad or like having a payday on a Friday. I was looking at my calendar and kind of realizing the way time passes, I don't really pay attention to the fact sometimes that it's a certain month is here or not. And so now I'm looking at my calendar over here, November 15th, so that means we're halfway through November, which to me, when we're halfway through a month, we kind of write it off. So November to me is basically over with. And so now we're kind of working on December things. So that's the way my mind works when time comes to pass. And I also look at things in terms of quarters these days. So here we are in the fourth quarter of 2019, which to me basically means, kind of mentally, business-wise, this is going to sound weird. I kind of think 2019 is somewhat over, which is somewhat ironic considering my topic today is because obviously 2019 is far from over. But first of all, something just occurred to me. I was going to say, what was I going to say? For those of you that have a business or are really high tech like me, the first tip I have for you today is to get a physical calendar. And that's going to lead into my second item here. But get a physical calendar. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, we get so high tech with our devices, like right here. I live here off of my phone, and my calendar is very much on my phone. But one of the things that I found invaluable over the past couple of years is getting an actual physical calendar. So you can't see it up here, but over on my wall is a 2019 yearly planner, and I'm actually due for a 2020 yearly planner. And by the way, if you do happen to watch this live or record it later, leave me a comment on this topic because I obviously want to hear this. So get yourself a 2020 physical planner as soon as possible so you can physically see time pass in front of you and you can physically write things on it. I kind of resisted paper for a while, but this is one of those paper things I would highly encourage you to do. And something else I would encourage you to do, and I can show you an example of it real quick over here, is I use a marker every single chance I get, and I mark off the days. And this is kind of a mental hip check to remind me how time is passing. And some days, I go a week or two and I have to catch up. But if you would actually see my calendar over here, you would actually see that I mark off the days so I can easily, number one, glance at the calendar and see where we are, but also so I can see how things have passed over time. And of course, I write major life and business events on here. So that's my tip number one for the day. My tip number two for the day, again, goes ironically against what I was talking about with the year being over, is that as we come into basically the last 31 plus 15, 46 days of the year, so we're heading into the last month of the year, oftentimes people are tempted to slow down on things, slow down on goal setting, on goal achieving, on exercise, on maybe big aspirations you had planned for 2019 that you didn't get to. You may think, the year's almost over. Why don't I just put the brakes on that? Why don't I just pump the brakes on that? And, maybe save those for 2020. And my message for you today is don't slow down at the end of the year. And now what I mean by this is everybody else around you, whether it's business people, sales people specifically, people who set goals, people who are into fitness, everyone's tempted to slow down at the end of the year. Oftentimes you hear that the end of the year is a bad buying or selling cycle for a business because no one's doing anything at the end of the year. Everyone's shutting down. And I'm here to tell you that at least in my business, year after year, that has never ever been the case. I am looking at my calendar right now. I've got plenty of business and new leads and new opportunities and things I'm working on, and even some significant amount of travel planned for the end of the year. So it's not slowing down at all. It only slows down if you think it slows down. At the end of the year is a good, to me, it's a good chance to get started on things because I don't tend to think of the calendar as, things begin on January 1st and things end on December, 31st. To me, a calendar is just a generic marker of time, but it doesn't really, your body or your business bank account or things like that don't know what the day is, and it doesn't really matter. And my point with that is that when you are working on things, you really shouldn't think of anything being significant as December versus January. December 1st is an important day to work on something. December 15th is. January 1st is. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've woken up on January 1st and gone out and had a normal day, obviously impacted by the businesses that were open. So don't think of the end of the year as really a time to slow down or a time to stop, to start doing nothing for a while or slacking off. This is the time of the year where you even have, I'd say, a little bit of a chance to maybe get ahead because everybody else in the world is slacking off. And you want to take advantage of that opportunity to, maybe if your competition isn't out there doing things as hard in business or entrepreneurship, maybe it's a chance for you to get a little bit ahead. If people are slowing down their selling cycles, that's a chance for you to ramp up your selling cycles and get stuff in at the end of the year. And something else you want to know about business is that people oftentimes, business-wise, are looking to basically start ramping up those tax write-offs. So here we are on November 15th. Your Monday's coming up November 18th. So that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks and change to basically push people to spend money with you if you're running a business to help them get a tax write-off. So if I never preach myself as a salesperson, however, I do know the way taxes work. And so if you are working on a business and you're trying to get some new leads and maybe close some new business before the end of the year, try to push people that, hey, it's tax write-off time. Now would be a good time to spend some money on your education, on your business growth, on your business coaching, or whatever it is. Really push that hard come towards the end of the year. As far as your personal goals or your personal achievements, again, don't slow down just because it's November and December and everyone else is slowing down. Typically, if you're the kind of person who has ever joined a gym membership, excuse me for a second, who's ever joined a gym membership, what you see a lot at the beginning of the year, at least the first 2 months, is a big ramp up in gym memberships. And when I belong to the YMCA, what I often see is a lot of people, first, second week of January, just coming in with new shoes, new workout clothes. This is the year. This is the time. I'm all for that. I really would encourage people to always look at joining a gym. But if that's something that you're planning on doing, do yourself a favor, go out and buy those new shoes now. Go out and buy those new workout clothes now and get your ass to the gym. This is fitness. This is health. If your body is suffering from something, it's going to be there suffering January 1st. And if your body needs to repair itself or you want to fix yourself physically, you need to do it as soon as possible. Don't wait for, December 25th or 26th when you open up your brand new shoes and, hey, I'm going to work out now. I know we all like to have presents on December 25th, but if fitness is something you really want to take serious in 2020, get that shit started now. In other words, maybe tell a spouse, if you're working on getting me something for fitness or my health and wellness for 2020, open it up early. Get started on it right now. Tomorrow will always be there, and you're always going to be chasing tomorrow. But if you get it done today, your body will instantly see the benefits of that. So please do me a favor. Take care of your body. Take care of your health. Get started on that fitness stuff now if you plan to do big things in 2020. Business-wise, like I said, don't ramp down at the end of 2020. Ramp up and start putting the tax advantages of working with you and the tax write-offs with things like that. Chris, buddy, hey, it's always good to see you. Congratulations on joining the gym, lady. I am very, very proud of you for doing that. So those are my two big points for the end of this year and this particular live, is the fact that, first of all, get a physical calendar. It's amazing to see how much better my time management is and how more big picture I think when I have a physical calendar and I can see the months and the days in front of me, and I can mark them off with my trusty Expo pen right here. So my family knows, for example, one of the things they can always get me for Christmas these days is a physical calendar. And like I said, I wish I could show it to you. It's up over here. I've got all the days marked off on it. It looks a little sloppy, and I do mirror it on my physical phone. But something else this allows me to do for those of you that have to do business travel and things like that, is it's very easily for you to look at the thing at a glance. As a matter of fact, the brand I use is the At a Glance calendar. I just noticed that in the upper left-hand corner. And so when I have big things, big life events or big travel events, I put those on there. And so then when a prospect calls me and says, hey, can you do this? Can you be here? Can you do that? I can look real quick and glance and say yes or no. So again, 2 big things for the year. Don't ramp down just because it's the end of the year. Ramp up and take advantage of those tax write-offs and get yourself a physical calendar. As always, for those of you that are listening on the podcast, do me a favor and rate the podcast and review it. And for those of you watching on YouTube, do me a favor, subscribe and share it. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great, great weekend on this Friday, November 15th at 5:41 Central. I appreciate you guys watching live or recorded. And stay tuned for tomorrow and the next day and the next day. We continue more of these Facebook Lives. I'm going to help kind of kick your ass into 2020 and make you do amazing, amazing things. And pretty soon I'll have the license for the software so we can get rid of this darn logo right here. I've just been trying the software the past couple of days right there, the Ecamm software. So if you're someone who's considering doing more Facebook Lives, you might check that software out if you're on a Mac. It does some pretty badass stuff. Like, lets me put my logo right up there. Isn't that cool stuff? I just have to learn that my world is backwards because I'm pointing one way, but on the actual Mac, it's going the other direction. So it's kind of freaky like that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. I'm going to go start my Friday evening. We'll talk to you soon.